Cass Lake.
No, Ryan Harrison. You're mixing me up with some woman.
I'd love to have you sit for me sometime.
You a dog trainer?
Leslie Nielsen is possibly one of the most nostalgic actors when we talk about comedy from the 80s and 90s. You might not have noticed, but he had a very peculiar way of acting in his comedy films.
Relax, take it easy. Nothing's gonna happen.
Hey, I didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about this?
You think we were born yesterday? You didn't do anything, huh?
I've got rights. Look,
Look, Ed. He's got a picture of your wife.
He rarely laughed in his roles, yet he managed to be incredibly funny. Nielsen's talent for staying serious in ridiculous situations became his signature in comedy and is one of the reasons behind his success as a comedic actor.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
Today, we'll explore why Leslie Nielsen rarely laughed in his comedic roles. To understand Nielsen's unique approach, it's crucial to know how he entered the world of comedy. While most people remember Leslie Nielsen from Airplane or the Police Squad series, he was already around long before that. Nielsen spent much of the early part of his career in serious roles and never thought he could play a funny guy. When he realized that all he needed to do to be funny was to stay serious, he said that comedy was actually easier than serious roles.
Please go away. Please go away. I don't want to answer any more of your questions.
We're sorry to bother you at a time like this, Mrs. Twice. We would have come earlier, but your husband wasn't dead then.
This discovery happened with his first comedy film, Airplane.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
That's right.
The filmmakers intentionally cast actors known for their serious work, including Nielsen, Peter Graves, Robert Stack, and Lloyd Bridges. They did this so that the actors would perform seriously in ridiculous situations,
all right. Now
making everything funnier.
Captain, how soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
Nielsen's deadpan delivery in scenes with absurd dialogue became a key part of the humor. The serious demeanor of the characters combined with completely absurd dialogues is what made everything hilarious. One famous scene in Airplane showcases this perfectly.
Both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
It's worth noting that Leslie Nielsen's comedic style extends beyond merely staying serious in absurd situations. Nielsen excels at maintaining a complete lack of emotion and energy at just the right moments, making things incredibly funny.
I'll be back in a minute. You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Deadpan comedy often relies on a talented writer, with the humor hinging entirely on the strength of the jokes.
The fuck is this?
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
It is a sense of humor, lacking facial expressions, and filled with farcical language.
Right. What did he say?
Said edge is edge, huh? He only took him down because he couldn't see the view no more. What's he moaning about?
The goal of Deadpan is to soothe, then shock an audience. The dry sense of humor has produced some of the greatest deadpan comedies of all time.
What's up with it, Vanilla Face? Me and my homie Azamat just parked our slab outside. We're looking for somewhere to post up our black asses for the night.
While this style isn't exclusive to Leslie Nielsen, executing it effectively is quite challenging. However, Leslie Nielsen's comedy goes beyond just the jokes written for him. His unique approach and mastery of the craft make his comedy exceptionally effective, which is why he's regarded as a genius in his field.
I've loved you since the first day I met you, and I'll never stop. I'm a very lucky woman.
So am I.
Nielsen continued to be serious even in the midst of jokes, proving he was so good at this type of comedy that it became his regular work.
I don't know. My memory ain't so great.
Oh, yeah? Maybe this will refresh your memory.
I don't know, it's still kind of hazy.
How about this?
Yeah, I remember him. I used to see him around. Why do you want to know?
I can't tell you that.
Well, maybe this'll help.
I really don't think I should.
Yeah, you still don't think so?
All right, his name is Nordberg.
Even though he still took on dramatic roles occasionally, his character Frank Drebin in The Naked Gun was largely inspired by his portrayal of Dr. Rumack in Airplane.
We had them enlarged.
They look familiar.
No, Frank, the pin.
In 1989, Leslie Nielsen hosted an opening monologue on Saturday Night Live, where he explained exactly what he did and his bewilderment. He didn't quite understand why he was invited to perform on a comedy show because, according to him, he wasn't a comedian.
You know, if you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be hosting a comedy show like Saturday Night Live, I would never have believed it. I mean, for most of my career, I've been a dramatic actor. But ever since Airplane and Police Squad, and Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, everybody thinks I'm a comedian, but that's not quite true. Comedian is someone who says funny things. Comic is someone who says things funny. So I'm neither. I'm someone who says unfunny things. I say unfunny things in an unfunny way. And somehow it seems to end up funny.
He demonstrated this by saying a line first in a dramatic manner, and then, as his character Frank Drebin, in a deliberately unfunny way, proving his point.
Well, now, for example, say I'm a high school principal. Now, in a drama, I would say a line like this one. I'd say, "Come in, Jimmy, have a seat. There's something I think we should talk about." Now, in the comedy, I would deliver the same line, but I'd say it like this. "Come in, Jimmy, have a seat. There's something I think we should talk about." You see what I mean?
This was one of the best moments of Saturday Night Live, showing how saying unfunny things in an unfunny manner can be incredibly difficult but effective, if you are Leslie Nielsen, of course.
I can't see anything.
Use your open eye, Frank.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Nielsen's humor extended beyond films into interviews, making us feel he was genuinely that funny guy. In one of his interviews, the interviewer managed to draw out Nielsen's own perspective on the seriousness of his characters, much like a magician revealing the secrets behind his tricks.
Told you
it's
not a comedy. Act as though this is deadly serious.
The director, the thing is that we know that we're being funny, but you can't let the audience know for 1 second that you're trying to be funny, not for 1 second. Although I will do almost anything I can for a laugh.
His style of comedy remained effective even as the jokes became repetitive. If a simple joke didn't work the first time, he would repeat it again and again until the audience eventually laughed.
Excuse me, I don't know whether I can do this. I'll do the best I can, though.
All right.
Sometimes you just get a wrong piece of salmon.
Was that you?
Well, I don't see anybody else in here who's gonna be doing.
All right, well then we'll start now, then we'll begin. All right, now we'll begin. What's different about you and the real president?
Nothing, just maybe one or two things.
You know, I wanted to keep this serious.
Yes, I know. I'm helping.
Despite starring in many films, not all of which were great, his parodies eventually outnumbered the original films being spoofed. Leslie Nielsen was undoubtedly an immense talent. His performances inspired an entire subgenre, cementing his status as a cinema icon.
You're right on time, Lamekins. Make yourself a drink, baby.
No, thanks, Dutch.
Who are you, and how did you get in here?
I'm the locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.
Somehow, he managed to make even the most predictable scenes hilariously funny. It was tough not to feel a warm smile every time he appeared.
Cigarette?
Yes, I know.
By the end of his career, simply appearing on screen made people laugh, reminding them of his past hilarious moments. Leslie Nielsen's comedic brilliance and unforgettable performances have left an enduring legacy in film. As we look back on his remarkable career, his wit and charm remain timeless, while no prescription can replace the humor he brought to the screen.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for updates, and remember to always have fun.